Now, today we are going to see the next type of models. As I discuss you, process models are categorized into generic and prescriptive. Again, in the prescriptive, we have discussed about the models like waterfall, incremental, evaluationary. That's why if you have observed in the table of content, I have didn't specify you the evolutionary process models, okay, because it is not in our syllabus. Next, the model is specialized process models. Let me have a look into this specialized process models. The name itself called as specialized, it consisting of for special characteristics of requirement, where if you require specialized things are required, then in that cases we are going to using this specialized models. Have a look of this. Many of the characteristics, one or more traditional models is like waterfall, incremental, all such type of models will comes under traditional models. Presented in this prescribed sections is giving little bit of more characteristics compared with the traditionals. We are going to using specialized models. As a part of this specialized models, it categorized narrowly divided into first one as component based development, second one called as formal methods model, third one called as AOSD, which stands for aspect oriented software development. These are the three different categories of the models available under the specialized process model. Like we have in the evolutionary models, spiral model, prototype, and concrete models are there. In the same fashion, specialized process model consisting of three types. What is the purpose of the specialized process models is for providing more and characteristics for this one. Okay, to do that one only, this is the main focus. Right. Let me have a look into the first model that is called as component. The name itself called as the name itself consisting with the name component. Now, what is the meaning of component here? When we call as a component means when the some sort of executable things are there, it is ready to use. That type of things are called as component. Executable ones, ready to use, such type of things are called as component. Now we have a COTS, which is stands for commercialized off the shelf. Commercialized off the shelf is nothing but ready to use to the market, ready to use that one. So this type of COTS is developed by different vendors. Vendors is nothing but the third parties who producing these products, who offers them as products, provide targeted functionality. Here the meaning of targeted functionality is nothing but specific to a particular requirement, particular task, that is called as targeted functionality. Specific to a particular requirement has to be fulfilled or particular task has to fulfill with some well-defined interfaces. Well-defined interfaces here, well-defined interfaces that enables this component. What is the purpose of interfaces here? Nothing but this component is easily incorporated, easily can flexible, pluggable to anything. So that's why it is providing a well-defined interfaces. This COTS product, if you are going to using like pen drive can supports for any type of operating systems. Maybe if you are using Linux, or maybe you are using Mac OS, or maybe Windows, any sort of OSs, it is interfable because any OS, this pen drive product is easily integratable, easily acceptable for that. It is a portable, anywhere we can add it. So with well-defined interfaces that enable the component to be integrated into the software that is to be built. So easily this software, that is COTS product, easily going to be integrated. Such type of targeted functionalities will be provided by the different vendors. So that is called as COTS. So the main objective of COTS is it provides like as a product which is produced developed by the different vendors. The purpose of this type of products, the targeted is it provides the specific functionalities with some well-defined interfaces, so that this component, whatever it is generating from COTS, this component here also called as product, is easily integrated into the software. So that is the main beauty of this one. Now here the component based development model incorporates many characteristics of the spiral model. So Just now we have in the last class discussed spiral model. In each iterations, it is generating some sort of the iteration, iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3. Each time it is giving a one type of increment over there in the spiral model, right? Just now we have seen in the last class. It is evolutionary in nature. So evolutionary in nature, nothing but already we have seen different evolutionary models, demanding and iterative. If you observe the figure of spiral model, it look like as a iterations. All are called as iterations, right? In that evolutionary, both it supports iteration as well as the traditional, means classical models, demanding an iterative approach of the creation of software. If you look out into this one, the main objective of this CBOTS, that is the component based, is going to using in the phases of modeling and construction activities, because we are dealing directly with the product. Directly, there is a ready to use. That's why this type of component based models doesn't bother about the communication, or maybe it's a planning. All sort of things will not be covered over there. Directly, we are going to the second type of activity, that is from modeling construction activities. It begins for identification of candidate components. What is called as candidate components means, which is a, just now we had discussed target functionality, specific to a particular functionality is called as candidate. Name of the candidate means name of the student. Name of the student means what? It is a unique. It's a unique for the name of the candidate. It's a specific to a person, right? So candidate components are specific. These components are designed as either conventional software modules or object oriented, or maybe as part of packages. So conventional software modules is nothing but like normal functions, whatever we have, just we can use that as a functions, or we can create in a class file with the help of objects. We can access that classes, or we can create some packages. Already you have seen how to create the uh, manual packages, means not only the predefined packages in Java, whatever we have, you have already seen that how to create your own packages, own manual packages, how we create it. Such type of packages also we can use it. To create the component based development model incorporates the following steps. What are the steps to create this? The component based development model is the first one. It has available different component based products are available or researched and evaluated for the application domain is the first step. Whether this, whatever the requirement you required, the candidate you required, the targeted functionality required, whether it is available in the component based products or not. If it is available, you have to be evaluated and then you can be use that one. The second is component integration issues. Like when you are going to be integrating, because for example, you have developed the 3 modules for your project. 2 modules or comes under the Linux environment. If another module which you are taking from the component based development model is a Windows based or Mac OS, then whether when you are integrating this to the other 2 modules, which is belongs to Linux, whether it is any issues will be raised, because integrating that 2 or 3 will be a different issue, because it has to support all the configuration files of Linux which is there, and the component file which you are taking from the Windows will be has to support for that configuration files. If it is not support, then it easily is not recognized. Most of you have seen, if you are playing a 3D game in normal mobiles, normal the smartphones, it is not compatible because the screen will be blur, or sometimes it will be stuck, or sometimes it will be zigzag, or something will be happen. In the same fashion, if you don't have a graphical cards in your laptop, if you're trying to play a 3D game or some other, it is not compatible. So compatible issues are called here is integration issues as well, right? The third step we have to be focused when you are going to be using, when you are creating this component basis, a software architecture is designed to accommodate the components, because software architecture, the definition talks about set of components, interfaces, interconnecting between these components and interfaces is called as software architecture. So an architecture consisting of some set of components, interfaces. Among this, there will be an interconnection relationship. That is called as software architecture. So we have to design such a way that we can accommodate any type of the component you are going to considering, that has to be incorporated easily over here. Easily you can incorporate it over this. So that is another part. So a software architecture is designed to accommodate the components. The fourth step is components are going to be integrated into the architecture. Components easily we can integrate it into the architecture so that we can avoid the issues. And comprehensive testing is conducted to ensure proper functionality. Comprehensive testing is nothing but comprehensive is called as when you are all combined, all the components or whatever you are considering, all if you are integrating, combinedly testing whether all are correctly connected to each other or not. That is called as comprehensive. Comprehensive testing means after integrating all the modules, combinedly when you are trying to test all the modules at a time, then it is called as comprehensive testing. So that steps you need to be focused in this component-based development model is the first one, whether the component-based products are researched and evaluated properly or not. That's you have to be check yourself. The second one, when you are integrating this component, whether any issues are there, consider that issues as well. Design a separate software architecture to accommodate all this type of components. The fourth one, once you design that software architecture, we can make that components integrated into this architecture. And finally, perform and comprehensive testing so that you can ensure a proper functionality is getting for doing of all this component based development model. So this is about the component based development model. Okay.